Once upon a Christmas Eve, on a mean and shabby street in London, stood the warehouse of Scrooge and Marley's. Marley was 7 years dead, but Scrooge never bothered to paint out the name.
It's a waste of time, paint, and money.
Oh, he was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone, that Ebenezer Scrooge. A squeezing, grasping, clutching, covetous old sinner. A frosty rime upon his head, and on his eyebrow, and on his wiry chin. And the cold within him iced his office even in the dog days, and didn't thaw out 1 degree at Christmas. A fact that could be attested by Bob Cratchit, his overworked, underpaid, shivering clerk. And what did Scrooge think of Christmas? Listen.
The WICY Players present A Christmas Carol, based on the original novel by Charles Dickens. Gather the family, sit back and enjoy the wondrous tale of holiday spirits.
And what do you think you're about to do with that coal scuttle, Mr. Cratchit?
Why, well, you see, my stove's gone out, Mr. Scrooge.
Tell me, Mr. Cratchit, do you like working here?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Well, and you have reason for 15 bob a day as it is.
Oh, yes, you see, there's my wife and Tiny Tim and Belinda and Martha.
Yes. And then may I suggest you forget the fire and get back to your work. Unless, of course, you would prefer to keep Christmas by losing your situation.
A Merry Christmas. God save you, Uncle.
May the Lord pity you, nephew. Humbug.
Oh, come now. You don't mean that.
I do. Merry Christmas. What right have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
Then what right have you to be dismal? You're rich enough.
Humbug.
Now, don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this? Out upon Merry Christmas. What's Christmas time but a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer. A time for balancing your books and having through a round dozen of months presented debt against you?
Now, Uncle.
Yes, if I had my way, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips would be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Uncle!
Nephew, keep Christmas in your way, and let me keep it in mine.
But you don't keep it.
Well then, let me leave it alone.
Won't you at least come and dine with us tomorrow?
Good afternoon, nephew.
It's Christmas Day, you know.
Good afternoon.
Well, if I don't see you, a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
Good afternoon.
Please understand that we aren't asking for a large donation, Mr. Scrooge. Even a small sum will provide a brighter Christmas for the poor and destitute.
What amount may we put you down for, Mr. Scrooge?
Nothing.
Oh, you wish to remain anonymous?
No, I wish to be left alone.
Scrooge took his melancholy dinner in his usual melancholy tavern, and having read all the newspapers and beguiled the rest of the evening with his banker's books, went home to bed. He lived in the chambers that once belonged to his deceased partner, Jacob Marley. Since Marley's death, no one lived there but Scrooge. Then, as he put the key in the lock of the door, a strange and curious thing happened.
That door knocker. I could have sworn it was Marley's face. Rubbish. Humbug.
Scrooge entered, then double-locked the door behind him. He wasn't a man to be frightened by a door knocker. He lit the candle and started up the stairs, his footsteps echoing through the quiet house. It just so happened, while he was ruminating, his glance came to rest upon a bell, a disused bell that hung in the room and communicated for some purpose now forgotten with a chamber in the highest story of the building. It was with great astonishment and with a strange, inexplicable dread that he looked. He saw the bell ring and swing of its own accord.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
What was that noise deep down
Who's
below
there?
in the cellar, as if someone were dragging heavy chains?
Ebenezer!
What's that?
The sound grew louder on the cellar stairs, rose higher in the empty halls below, then climbed and clattered on the stairs behind Scrooge as he fled. He closed the door of his room and locked it.
Humbug. I don't believe it.
Then, as though part of the fog outside, the ghost of Jacob Marley passed through the closed and locked doors.
Ebenezer!
Who are you?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
What do you want?
Much. Oh, much, Ebenezer.
Be gone! I don't believe in you.
Oh, why do you doubt your senses?
Because a little thing can affect them. A slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheat. You may be an undigested bit of beef, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a fragment of underdone potato. It's humbug, I tell you.
Oh, man of the worldly mind, do you believe in me or not?
Mercy, dreadful apparition, why do you trouble me? I do if it makes you any happier, Jacob. But why do spirits walk the earth? Why do you come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men.
Yes, Jacob?
And if that spirit goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death.
Oh, but why must you wear these heavy chains? A chain of cash boxes, and keys and padlocks and ledgers, and deeds and swollen purses.
It is the one I forged in life. I made link by link and yard by yard.
But why should you be so cursed? You were always a good man of business, Jacob.
Business? Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance were all my business.
Jacob.
Hear me, Scrooge.
I will.
You may still have a chance and hope of escaping my fate.
Thank you, Jacob. Thank you.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
3, Jacob?
Receive them, and for your own sake, remember what has passed between us.
Jacob, wait now. Don't leave me. Jacob, please.
Look, see me no more. Farewell, Ebenezer.
Jacob, wait.
Farewell.
Jacob!